how to turn these new commitments, the SDGs, into reality. Where does the rubber meet the road? So your thoughts on how the SDGs, we're in the initial stages of them now, but how we will get to a point where we can see and measure the results and how we can move towards success.
First of all, thank you for inviting me. It's a real pleasure to be here. And I think the answer to the question is not an easy one, because what is most important, I think, is that with the resolution on Agenda 2030, at least the necessary basis for the work ahead is there. And it's the will of nations to do something about the problems in the world. So the will is there. Now it's time for action. And action, as I said also in my speech, it takes action from absolutely everybody. It takes action from United Nations, from ECOSOC, it takes action from national governments, but all stakeholders, businesses, especially small and medium-sized businesses, they all have to work together. And this year is a crucial year and a critical year because it sets the pace and it defines the work ahead. So I think the key word to achieving it is cooperation.
And you spoke of cooperation. Groups like CIFA and other organizations that have both consultative status and others out in the private sector, how can they be helpful specifically to help move the SDGs forward and in terms of where the rubber meets the road?
I think that organizations like CIFA have a critical role in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, because governments can create the environment for business and for prosperity, but they do not create prosperity. It's enterprises, it's business that creates prosperity and employment, and especially, as I said, small and medium-sized enterprises. And this is exactly where CIFA comes to play, and its role as a consultative member of the NGO committee of ECOSOC is extremely important, and all stakeholders have a role to play, and especially organizations like CIFA that gather entrepreneurs and financial world.
Okay, last question. You had mentioned the high-level segment in July. What is your best hopes for the outcome of those meetings?
The best hopes, as I said, this year sets the structure of the whole review process, because there will be a yearly review process that starts this year in July. It is the first one, and it consists of two different venues. One of them is the high-level segment, and the other one is country reports. The first countries that present their reports on sustainable development goals will do this already this July. And the high-level segment sets the pace and the structure for the future work. So this year is really crucial and critical, I think, for the future of the process.